Next is the methods of safe disposal of waste. There are three methods for segregation. Like they should be segregated on the basis of these three categories. Now, whether the waste is reusable, like your paper, newspaper, they can be recycled. So they should be segregated according to that category. Then degradable waste, which includes your organic waste, which is like your vegetable, fruit peelings, which can be decomposed and can be used as a manure. Then you have the non-degradable waste. Non-degradable waste includes which cannot be degraded, like plastics. So they had to be dumped, but so all the waste should be segregated according to these categories, so that proper treatment or recycling can be done. Then any waste, if it is dumped, like the non-degradable waste, if it is dumped, it should be dumped in pits, and those pits or the landfills which are there where you are going to dump them, they should be away from the human habitation, so that they should not affect the human habitation. And these landfills which are there, after some time, where they are dumped, after some time what they do is these landfills get converted into parks also on that area. Then new landfills or new areas are considered where the waste can be dumped. Okay, next we have incineration. It is the disposal of waste by burning. So because this disposal of waste is by burning, it will release various fumes and harmful substances. And this is important from the exam point of view also. Every year question is being asked regarding this. Then what is the main purpose of incineration is? The main purpose is that it reduces the volume of waste. The waste which is produced after burning, their volume will be reduced. Because the volume is reduced, the weight of the waste will also be reduced, and it renders toxic waste into less toxic or non-toxic. So after burning, the toxic waste after burning, it can be turned into less toxic, or even it can turn into non-toxic, and various precautions should be taken. Now when the incineration is being carried out, that the burning of waste is being carried out, it should be carried at very high temperature. Why high temperature? Because high temperature destroys various substances. Then it should be equipped with pollution control devices, the incinerators, because otherwise the fumes of the harmful substances which are released in the environment, they will cause pollution and will affect the environment. Then it should be installed away from the residential areas. Incinerators should always be installed away from the residential areas, because if any of the fumes are released, they will not impact, or they will have less impact on the human population if it is away from the human habitation or the residential area. Now what are the advantages of incineration? Like, because it reduces the volume of waste, so the afterwards these waste or the ashes, they occupy the landfill space, and this landfill space occupied will be much less before it is burned. After burning, the space occupied will be less. Then the residual ash, the bottom ash which is produced, it can be used for recovering the metals, and the electricity can be generated from the heat which is produced during burning, so it can use to generate electricity. Next we have scrubbers. This is also important from the exam point of view, the diagram and the explanation. Like, what are scrubbers used for? They are used to remove gaseous and particulate air pollutants. Two types of pollutants, gaseous and particulate air pollutants. Now how it works, what happens in scrubbers is dry air is passed. This dry air is passed, and then from the wet packing, here packing is there, so it passes from the wet packing. The particulate matter collects here, and this wet, through this wet packing, the water spray is also there. So through this wet packing, when the air passes out of this scrubber, here it will be the clean air from this side. So dry air is passed, and the air passing out of the scrubber is dust free, clean, as well as free of certain gaseous pollutants which they get dissolved in the wet packing. Okay, last we have the electrostatic precipitators. How does it work? In the electrostatic precipitators, you have charge plates, positive, negative plates are there. So from here, when the dirty air is passed, what happens is the dirty air contains various particulates. So when it is passed through the chambers which have electrically charged plates, these electrically charged plates are there. So when they pass through it, the various particles will contain charges on them, so they will get attracted to their opposite charge plates. Like, if the particle is positively charged, it will get attracted to the negatively charged plate. So by this way, the particulates will get collected on the plates, and the gas which passes out, that is clean gas. And almost 90% of the particulate matter can be clean. Here, from here, the dirty air will pass. The particulates, according to their charges, get deposited on the oppositely charged plates, and the gas which passes out, that is the clean gas.